Oh my gosh. Okay, I was muted. Sorry about that. I tend to do that. I like unmuted myself in Streamlabs, but not on my microphone. Anyway, hello. My name is Ashlee, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone had a great Halloween weekend. We're gonna talk about that a little bit and then get into all the news and stuff. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe and turn on post notifications and all the things to help me grow my channel. All right, so first, if I can get to my correct screen on Streamlabs, let's talk about why I was gone. So I was gone last week. I went to Universal Studios with some friends, and I have I don't know how to show this shirt. Ooh, it says Halloween Horror Nights. That's been on my bucket list for like my whole life, and I finally got to go. It was simply amazing. I had so much fun. But I wanted to mention that I saw this shirt there when I was at Universal, because I went to the one in Orlando, and the shirt said God, Guns, and the GOP, and I was like, "Oop, I'm in Florida." I am in Florida, all right. But it was a lot of fun. I had a good time. Universal is amazing, and I love Halloween Horror Nights. So yeah. Anyway, I spent a week not really looking at the news or anything. So hanging out with some friends and not looking at the news for a week has honestly helped my mental health a lot. So, yeah. Now we're going to get right back into it. And yesterday I was supposed to stream, but I did not, which is why I'm streaming today, because, I posted on my YouTube, I was having really bad cramps. Sorry if that's TMI, but I was. And so I rescheduled it to today. But yes, so today, first, we're going to talk about just like a recap of like going over everything with Zohran right now. And I just phone banked for him earlier today, which was great. And yeah, so let's get into that first, and then we're going to talk about Cat and everything else. All right, so today I phone banked for Zohran, and tomorrow is the election. There's a lot of different elections tomorrow, but the one that I know a lot of people and me and everyone is looking forward to is the NYC mayoral election. And so they're doing a get out the vote effort right now, Zohran is, and they are canvassing, they are doing phone banks, and so even if you don't live in New York, you can help. You can phone bank, and that's what I did today. And they have shifts all day tomorrow as well. And so if you haven't done it yet, it's really easy. I did it today, and honestly, you get a lot of non-answers or being sent to voicemail. The people that I, talked to that did pick up were pretty nice. Mostly what I did was help them find their polling locations. And so I just had to type in their address, and then I helped them find their polling location so they knew where to go tomorrow. And yeah, it was great. It was great. I stayed a little bit after. You get like a little shift. I stayed a little bit after because Mark Ruffalo was on the next shift, and I love Mark Ruffalo. I loved Mark Ruffalo for a very long time. Ever since I watched Just Like Heaven, I have loved him. And so it was really cool. And I was like, I'm just going to stay on a little bit longer to see Mark Ruffalo. And so that's what I did. It was great, honestly. He's so cool. And he's like one of those celebrities. Like I actively hate most celebrities, right? But he's actually one of the celebrities I've always liked that turned out to be like a really good guy, which is kind of cool and very unusual for celebrities, to say the least. But speaking of celebrities and Zohran, so there's actually a celebrity that went against him earlier. I don't even know when, but I guess 50 Cent posted and then deleted a video telling Zohran, or like trying to bribe Zohran to get out of the race. And so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you this because it's honestly stupid. 50 Cent, one of those celebrities that's been on my shit list. There's a lot of celebrities on my shit list, 50 Cent being one of them. Yes, 50 Cent being one of them, because he keeps meeting with Trump. And, you know, for a while, there were times where he didn't like Trump, and now he wants to meet with him and be all buddy-buddy with him. I cannot stand 50 Cent. So that's where we are. Stay on Puff Daddy case 50 Cent. No, see, and that's the problem. 50 Cent, like, is a great hater when it comes to Diddy, but I just don't like him in most other areas. Like, politically, I don't like 50 Cent, but he does hate Diddy, like, a lot. He's like a professional hater for Diddy, which is honestly great. And I think he's going to come out with a documentary, which is going to be very interesting. But, you know, this is what he said. This is what he said about Zohran. So he said, okay, the rapper born Curtis Jackson, 49, was indeed unhappy about this and stated in the caption, "I will give him $258,750 and a first-class one-way ticket away from New York. I'm telling President Donald Trump what he said too." And so basically he said that, and then Zohran went on The Breakfast Club and responded and said that he, you know, if 50 Cent is watching, he knows he's not going to like this, but he said, "I know 50 Cent is listening. He's not going to be very happy about this. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear about this. This is about $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year." And I watched this earlier, and he's like, it's like a rounding error. And so a lot of these celebrities, a lot of like Michael Rappaport, like 50 Cent, a lot of these like more elite centrists and stuff like that don't like him because of his tax policy. And they are so mad. They're so mad that they are going to get taxed more. And that's why they're trying to offer him bribes, or like Bill Ackman spend millions of dollars to get him to stop running. And I like what he said on The Breakfast Club, because he said it's like a rounding error, and that he's showing them it's like $20,000 a year for them. For someone, like for a regular person, that's a lot of money. But for a millionaire, for a billionaire, $20,000 a year is nothing, absolutely nothing. And so I do think it's interesting that all of these millionaires, all of these famous people, all of these people hate him so much because of his tax policy, and yet they're willing to spend money or offer up more money than they would pay in their taxes. And so I really like how Zohran handled that. But yeah, 50 Cent is crazy, and he doesn't even live in New York. Apparently he doesn't even live in New York anymore. So it's like, why do you care? Why are you trying to bribe him to leave? You don't even live there anymore. You're not going to even have to pay the taxes. So why? What is wrong? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. It's really, really stupid. But anyway, so, staying on the topic of people getting upset with Zohran. So it wasn't just 50 Cent that came out and was talking about him the other day. It was also Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump has been talking about Zohran for ever, right? And right now he's looking good in the polls. Now listen. I don't want to be like, oh, he's gonna win, because it's nerve-wracking. Okay, it's a very nerve-wracking thing. I'm very nervous and I hope he wins. But I don't want to jinx it. So I really hope he wins, and you can tell that the establishment and that all of these different millionaires and billionaires and all these people are so mad at him, are so threatened by him, and you can tell that they feel threatened by him. So that means he is doing good, and they can tell that he has a lot of momentum on his side. So Donald Trump, this is what Donald Trump threatening New York, because of course he is. This is what Donald Trump said earlier today. So he said, this is what he truthed earlier today. He said, if communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds, other than the very minimum as required, to my beloved first home. Because of that fact, as a communist, this once great city has a zero chance of success or even survival. It can only get worse with a communist at the helm. And I don't want to send, as president, good money after bad. What does that even mean? Good money after bad. This man is crazy. Okay, it is my obligation to run the nation, and it is my strong conviction that New York City will be complete and total economic and social disaster should Mamdani win. His principles have tested for over 1,000 years and never once have they been successful. So now I don't know what he's talking about of this over 1,000 years, but I was listening to Hassan earlier, and apparently Donald Trump thinks that like socialism has been tried for over 1,000 years, which... Listen, I don't know. Donald Trump is so dumb. Like, I just don't think he knows anything. So I'm not really sure where he's getting, oh, socialism has been tried for 1,000 years, or all these different economic policies have been tried for 1,000 years. Dude, you're doing tariff bullshit right now and it's not working. And you're like, oh, New York is going to be an economic ruin. Bro, our country is going to be an economic ruin because of you. It's already getting there because of you. What do you mean? This is you have no track record of making the economy better. You just don't. God, it's so stupid. But anyway, let's keep going. His principles, okay, yeah, here we go. His principles have been tested for over 1,000 years and never once have they been successful. I would much rather see a Democrat who has had a record of success win than a communist with no experience and a record of complete and total failure. That's not true. He was nothing as an assemblyman, ranked at the bottom of his class, and as mayor of potentially again the greatest city in the world, he has no chance to bring it back to its former glory. We must also remember this. A vote for Curtis Lewa, who looks much better without the beret, is a vote for Mamdani. Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mamdani is not. And so that's what Donald Trump did today. Or I don't know, was it today? I don't know. He truths a lot. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So Donald Trump is endorsing Cuomo. He's endorsing Cuomo, which Zohran is using brilliantly, I would like to add. So another person who endorsed Cuomo today is actually Elon. So let's bring this over here. So Zohran is using these endorsements from Donald Trump, from Cuomo, to sit here and be like, I just got an email from Zohran earlier saying Donald Trump endorsed Cuomo. So he's using this as PR, as an ad against Cuomo, because people hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump's ratings have gone down. They are plummeting, right? And nobody likes Elon Musk. And so the fact that he can use these two endorsements against him, I think, is wonderful. And so this is what he said. So another big endorsement for Andrew Cuomo, and it only cost $959 million in tax breaks because he gave sorry, I got makeup on my mic, because he gave Elon tax breaks in New York. Now, this is what Elon Musk said. So Elon Musk said, this is what he said earlier. So he said, remember, and he pinned it. Oh my gosh. This is what he said today. Remember to vote tomorrow in New York. Bear in mind that a vote for Curtis is really a vote for Mamdani, which he spelled wrong. I don't know if that was on purpose or if he's doesn't. Oh, that was on purpose. Okay, I didn't read the rest of it. Bear in mind that a vote for Curtis is really a vote for Mamdani or whatever his name is. Vote Cuomo. I love how these are the people that are supporting Cuomo. I love how these are the people that are supporting Cuomo. And then you literally have people like Hakeem Jeffries who just like barely endorsed Zohran in the nick of time. And then got asked today, do you think he is the future of the Democratic Party? And he said no. I don't think he's the future of that. Dude, I'm just so sick of these centrists because you just endorsed Zohran. Oh, he doesn't need your endorsement. He probably honestly he probably would have done better without your endorsement. But the simple fact that that you have the guy that we're supposed to be fighting against. We are supposed to be fighting against Donald Trump. We are supposed to be fighting against Elon Musk. We are supposed to be fighting against these fascists. And the people they all want is Cuomo. And you have these centrist Democrats who refuse to go against Cuomo. And it's like, but isn't he the one but aren't we supposed to be fighting against the same people that are endorsing him? So why can't you go against Andrew Cuomo? Why do you have such a hard time supporting Zohran? And it's because of his tax policy. It's because of his progressive policies. So all these centrist Dems, honestly, when it comes to actually doing things for people, actually being progressive, they don't want to do it because they would rather lie in bed with a Cuomo who is literally getting endorsed by Donald Trump. So I think it's brilliant that he's using this as like an ad to be like, hey, look, all the people we're supposed to be fighting against are the same people who are endorsing him. You should be upset about that, but you should. All right. So next, it's exactly like with Bernie. Yeah, no, it's actually like, it's crazy how much, it's just crazy how much centrist Dems are willing to push under the rug or just be totally like not care about when it comes to them, when it comes to people who are like more progressive. Like if it's a centrist, they don't even care. They'll just sit there and they'll agree with everything. They don't care if you had 13 sexual assault allegations. They don't care if you killed a bunch of old people during COVID. They don't care if you're literally in bed with the same authoritarians that they're supposed to be fighting against. They will sit there and they will not denounce you and they will say you're the safer option, right? And then they'll go look at Zohran, who actually has tons of momentum, has tons of people behind him, is what the Democratic Party should be doing. And then you have people, being like, oh, well, I don't like him because he's a Muslim, is essentially the sentiment. Or because he doesn't want billionaires to exist, and they'll sit there and they'll be okay with sexual assault, but God forbid you want to tax billionaires. God forbid, that's their red line, is taxing billionaires. Really insane, but really insane things happening here today. But yeah, so the election is tomorrow, and I know New York, the polls open at 6 a.m. and they go till 9 p.m. So if you live in New York, please go vote. There has been a lot of push from Andrew Cuomo to get people out to vote. Honestly, that's why you have people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk telling everyone that, a vote for Sliwa is a vote for Mamdani. And that is their new slogan. That is what they're going with right now. And so let me just show you what Andrew Cuomo said earlier. So Andrew Cuomo said, I've said it before and I'll say it again, a vote for Sliwa is a vote for Mamdani. And here's the proof. Just this past March, Sliwa was openly supporting Mamdani to be the elected Democrat representative. So is Sliwa staying in the race just to help Mamdani win? Oh my God. Okay. Now everyone's going after Curtis. It's so funny because I feel like people like Curtis over Andrew Cuomo. Like, I feel like most people just really don't like Andrew Cuomo, and they're not voting for him because they like him. They're voting for him because they're either red scared to death and are just really think that he's like a communist, right? Or they're just racist and they think he's like a jihadist or whatever. Those are the two camps, right? Those are the two camps that are voting for Cuomo. And they don't actually like Andrew Cuomo. They're just voting for him because because they're brain broken. Which is just true. Okay, so is Sliwa staying in this race just to help Mom Donnie win? We are so close to winning this election. Are you? Even with Sliwa in the race. But it will only happen if everyone gets out and votes. Today is the last day of early voting, and I'm like, yeah. So I guess this was him at what was it? Apparently this is misleading because this is what Curtis said. You are truly despicable, disgusting, and desperate person. This was a memorial, not a campaign event. Okay. So he wasn't even there supporting him as the Democratic nominee. This was a memorial that Zohran and Curtis Sliwa both went to. And so he wasn't actually supporting him. But Cuomo did this because he really is despicable and disgusting. That's just who he is, which is why people don't like him. You are a truly despicable, disgusting, and desperate person. This was a memorial, not a campaign event, where all candidates were invited to honor the 15,000 elderly your executive order murdered. That's why he's mad. That's why Cuomo's doing this. You have blood on your hands. You never apologized, and now you're mocking their memorial to say... Oh my god, this is so funny. Okay, wait. I love Claire. I hate Curtis, but I love him. It's a very love-hate relationship. Okay. So he said, okay, wait. I'm losing everything now. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read this over again because it's so funny. I'm sorry. It is really great. This is great. Okay. You are truly despicable, disgusting, and a desperate person. This was a memorial, not a campaign event, where all candidates were invited to honor the 15,000 elderly your executive order murdered. You have blood on your hands, and you never apologized, and now you're mocking their memorial to say it was a campaign event? New Yorkers are smarter than this. Will you apologize to the families who have lost their loved ones because of you? Oh my god, that was great. And honestly, Cuomo is such a desperate person, and he's just mad because most people don't like him because of the shit that he did when he was governor, and because he is so corrupt, and he just can't handle the fact that people don't like him. And so he is so desperate. He is so desperate right now. They are going with sloppy AI ads. Yes, and actually there's a new sloppy AI ad that he came out with. So we're going to see that. But this is how desperate he is. He lies about a memorial that they had for all the people that Cuomo killed during COVID, and all the elderly people. And so now he's using this misleading ad here. Next, he has even more AI slop because this man is all he does is use AI for his campaigns because he has no creative, like, I don't know who he has on his social media. I think it's like a Republican. But he just he refuses to actually do anything on his own. He refuses to put any effort in. This is the effort that he's putting into his campaign right now. It's just AI videos and then misinterpreting things and misleading people. And that's all this is. None of it is about what he's gonna do. None of it is about his policies. all of it is everyone else sucks and I'm the only one because my last name is Cuomo. Like, that's it. That's all he has. That's all he's going with. And so I actually haven't watched this, but I saw this on here earlier. And so I was like, okay, we gotta react to this. So this is his latest AI slop video, a Zohran Halloween, and we'll see how this goes because, oh my God.
Trick or treat.
Aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating?
Not according to my job resume.
And where's your costume?
Duh. I'm a socialist.
Hey man, just one piece of candy per trick-or-treater.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to take 52%.
For what?
For the government.
You can't be serious?
Oh!
What's wrong with you?
Go away! Defund!
Okay, this is like, I don't even, I don't understand this. This is so dumb. Like, it's not even entertaining, you know? Like, it's not even entertaining, and it honestly doesn't even really make sense because, first of all, why would his costume be a socialist? That doesn't make sense. The kid is dressed up as a cop. Okay, like, but, like, why would he scream at them like that? This is so stupid. This is so stupid, and it's not even good. You're right. His hand is leaving the handle. I hate, honestly, I fucking hate AI.
This is insane. You are ruining Halloween.
Yeah. And I'm about to ruin New York City if you make me mayor. See, I'm a socialist. Some people need to get tricked, so others get a treat.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, socialist. Ooh, scary. Scary socialist. That shit doesn't work anymore, man. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work anymore. We are currently living under capitalism, and all this crazy shit that you all keep saying is gonna happen under socialism is happening right now. People are going hungry right now. People are losing their benefits right now. People are getting laid off right now. This is all happening under capitalism. And so you can't scare people with, oh, spooky socialism when all of the horrible things that you say are going to happen under socialism are currently happening right now. Like, it's so stupid to keep doing this. No, who cares? Also, who watches these videos? Who watches these AI videos? I mean, I get we're watching it, but I feel like we're watching it because it's stupid and funny. But like, who is this really going to convince? Who is this supposed to be for? This is so ridiculous. Like, this isn't persuading anyone on anything.
God, that guy was crazy.
Socialists are terrifying.
Terrifying. Oh no, the rat scare is back and not good or effective.
Sir, we told you to go away.
What?
Relapse. It's just me, Curtis Lewa, the Red Beret.
Okay, why? Okay. This is so dumb. Okay. Curtis Lewa looks like Andrew Cuomo. Am I wrong in this like AI video? Doesn't he look like Andrew Cuomo? Doesn't that look like they just like meshed his face with Andrew Cuomo? This is so crazy. Oh my gosh. This is so crazy. All right, let's finish this. This is so insane.
Curtis Lewa, the Red Beret guy running from there with no shot of winning.
Then why are you dressed like that other guy?
Because at this point, I'm so far behind. A vote for me is a vote for Mom Donnie. And that's the scariest thing of all this Halloween.
Anyway, I hope you guys have enough candy. Each of my cats is dressed up as a different cat from the musical Cats.
You know what? That would actually make me like him more. So I mean, hey, that would actually make me like him more. I hate Curtis Leewald, but like if he had a picture of all of his cats dressed up as the cats from Cats, I would like that. That would be kind of endearing.
I'm voting for Cuomo.
Same.
Come on, let me in. My cats are hungry.
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
Okay, that was dumb. That was so dumb. Like, who, again, who wants this? Who was like, oh yeah, I'm totally voting for Cuomo now? What does he even stand for? What does he want to do? Nothing. It tells you nothing about Cuomo. It tells you nothing about his campaign. It tells you nothing what he's, like, how he's going to be as a mayor. It's just like, oh, he's a scary socialist. Ooh, Curtis is weird. Ooh. Like, that's all this is. It's so insane. The kid is a cop, so he's afraid. No, I get it, but it's like so dumb. It's just so dumb because, I don't, he's dressed up as a cop. He's not an actual cop. Like, it's so stupid. Oh my God. All right. TS for the cool girls for Cuomo. Yeah, now it's like cool girls for capitalism. I'm like, wow, okay, you guys, like, I actually think it's good that we're seeing these people be so cringe and desperate, because it shows that their like red scare, socialist communist scary thing is not working, and that's not working anymore, which I think is a really good thing. And I think it's a good thing that they have to now try to propagandize for capital. They have to try to do PR for capitalism. They're like, oh, cool girls, hot girls, cool girls love capitalism. Do they? Like, I feel like that's just like really, that's like sheer desperation at that point. And so it actually makes me feel good, that a lot of people are starting to see that capitalism is the problem. We're living in late stage capitalism right now. Yeah. And he would have gotten away with it too. That's funny. It was hot girls. Oh, hot girls for capitalism. Yeah, it's so dumb. It's just so dumb. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Someone else who is doing a lot of dumb shit is Michael Rappaport. So Michael Rappaport. Sorry. I'm kind of all over the place right this second. So I talked about Michael Rappaport last week, and he is continuing to go. I don't even know if this page is real. I'm not sure, because he has a little there. I don't know. It looks real, but he has like a watermelon right here. So I don't know if he's just like baiting people or what he's doing, but I think there's a fake account that tries to be him on here as well. I don't know. Anyway, he's been going after Zohran and everyone who likes him for a very long time. He like threatened him and his wife last week. That's what my video was about. But something I wanted to show you all, because I found it to be really funny. And I'm pretty sure this is real. I could be wrong, but he has a lot of followers, so I'm pretty sure that this is real. He made a website called Zohran the Moron. Now, if you watched my video last week, you know that he recently made like a YouTube video that he posted. And in this video, he kept calling him Zohran the Moron. But he's spelling his name wrong to like go with moron. I don't know. It's very weird. But I thought we should check out this site because it's actually quite funny. So this is the site. It says Stop Zohran the Moron. And of course, as you see, it is misspelled. That's what all these racists love to do, is just misspell everyone's names. So that's what it says. And you can donate to, I guess, his PAC to try to stop Zohran. This is a little fishy to me, if you ask me. But this is what he's doing. This is his video from last week. When he was calling him Zohran the Moron. I can't, like, the part of me doesn't want to believe this is real because it's so dumb, but I think it is. I think it might be. Oh, it looks like it is. Okay, he said, I am a lifelong New Yorker, born and raised in Manhattan, and these 5 boroughs run through my veins. This is the most important race for mayor of my lifetime. Zohran Monty, but he spells it wrong on this part too, which is silly because you're not rhyming it with moron right in this sentence. Anyway, whatever, Zohran Mamdani is not fit for office. His policies are a fantasy, and that's the reality. His warped mind and hate-filled heart are rotten to the core. So this is him trying to combat Zohran's policies. So this is one of his policies: freeze the rent. This is how he's combating that. Will lead to less building, fewer apartments, and higher rents. Defund the police, which he has not said in his campaign, but whatever. Defund the police will lead to more crime. I love how it just says will lead to more crime. No, it's like statistics. There's nothing proving that. It's just will lead to more crime. Just believe me, it will lead to more crime. The next one is, and of course, we make it to he's gonna raise the taxes, and it says will lead to less money in your pockets. He wants to raise the taxes on people with higher incomes. That's what he wants to do. And Michael Rappaport, honestly, I'm surprised if you have a high income, because like I talked about last time, your career, your acting career is not doing so great from what I can see. From what I can gather, your acting career is not doing real good right now. But hey, whatever. If you still have money in your pockets from all your previous acting gigs, then good for you. But he is going to raise taxes on you, and I think that's a good thing. And if you love this city so much as you say you do, then maybe you giving up money to make sure that the roads are good, that you can invest in schools, that you can invest in buses and transit. So maybe if you love this city so much like you say you do, then you should be willing to give up that money to help make it a better place to live. But I mean, hey, maybe you don't love it as much as you say you do, Michael Rappaport. And then of course, who can of course, wonderful, of course. And then now he's giving us wonderful political insight. He's a moron. That just says he's a moron. Okay. Zohran the moron as mayor would not represent New Yorkers the right way. I care about this city, and I'm doing something about it. Make a donation, and our PAC will use it in its best, most targeted ways to make sure Zohran doesn't get elected. I'll keep you in the loop about it on my socials and podcasts. So make a donation and tune into my podcast for updates, and let's beat Zohran the moron together so he doesn't ruin New York, the greatest city in the world. Let's look at this. What happens to the funds I donate? Funds will be spent to prevent Zohran... Oh, so they spell it correctly here. To prevent Zohran Mamdani from becoming the next mayor of New York. We will use donations to promote anti-Mamdani speech, or it may give super PACs that are doing targeted work against him. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's his little... Hello, fellow lizards assemble. Hello, I love that. I actually had a manager. I worked at American Eagle when I was younger, and I had a manager that called me Lizard. Michael Rappaport, honestly. His PAC equals his wallet. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like it's really strange to just have like a donation thing up there. I don't trust him at all, whatsoever. He is like, I don't know. But this is his little website. So that's what Michael Rappaport is doing instead of getting a job. You know, he's probably one of those people who's always telling everybody else to get a job. How about you get an acting job, Michael Rappaport? I haven't seen you in anything recently except for Fallout, but you, spoiler alert, you died in the first episode. So, like, where have you been? What are you doing, man? Do people not want a hateful man in their show? Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Anyway. That was Michael Rappaport. Unlike Michael Rappaport, what you should do is you should sign up to Phone Bank for Zohran tomorrow if you can. I started this live off telling everyone that I did, and so you should sign up if you can. They have lots of they have a couple shifts tomorrow. They're trying to get out the vote. They were trying to hit 100,000 calls today. I'm sure that they did. They hit like 80,000 when I was phone banking. So they're really trying very hard to get everyone out and to get everyone out to vote. So yes, if you can phone bank, or if you live in New York, canvass. But if you don't, like me, then you should phone bank, because that was also fun. And it wasn't a lot of talking to people. It was really just a lot of like getting sent to voicemail, or just helping people find their polling locations, which is important, so people know where to go. All right, now let's move on to the next topic, which is Kat. I don't want to butcher her last name. I feel like
My name is Kat Abou-Ghazaleh. I'm running.
She just said it. Abou-Ghazaleh. I feel like I've done it correctly in the past. I think I just did it correctly. Anyway, she got indicted. All right. Now, this is news that I did see when I was out of town last week, but she got indicted for her protests against ICE in Chicago in their Broadview facility. Now, this protest has been going on for a very long time. A lot of the protest footage that we see in Chicago has been from this protest in Broadview of this ICE facility. And did I see her interview with Tara? Tara did a terrible job. We're actually going to talk about that in a second. So she has been going to this protest. I think it's like every Friday at this Broadview facility in Chicago, this ICE detention center. And a lot of the footage that you see from those protests comes from like in Chicago, comes from that protest, and they have been brutalizing protesters over there. Okay, now this has been happening for a very long time. When we were going over ICE a couple weeks ago, we watched some of the live stream of that same protest. I don't think Kat was there at the time, but it was at that same protest. It was at that same detention center, and there is like a free speech zone. So there's like a time that you're allowed to protest. There's a certain zone you're allowed to protest, which goes directly against the Constitution and the freedom of speech. But this is all happening near that Broadview facility in Chicago. And there was a viral clip of Kat being pushed to the ground by I don't know if it's ICE, I don't know if it's DHS. There are so many different federal agencies that they're using for immigration right now, but they are they literally just pushed her to the ground, right? And she is being indicted because they are saying that she impeded ICE's like duties or agenda or whatever, that she impeded them. And now apparently that's like a federal crime, and that's what they're trying to get people on when they're protesting against ICE. And so we're going to watch this video of her talking about her indictment, and then yes, we're going to talk about the interview she just did and a couple other things that ICE did over Halloween. That was insane. So let's get into it. It was not professional. Yeah. Abou-Ghazaleh is hard to say. I feel like I said it a while ago. I feel like I'll just like say it and I'm like, okay, I got it. But I really tried to get it right. I think I'm okay at her last name. But let's screen share. Miller says ICE has immunity. Yeah, that's something else that I did see last week. Stephen Miller, or I don't know if it's last week or the week before, but Stephen Miller said that ICE has qualified immunity like police officers, which is psychotic. Like, that's psychotic. I don't think that they should. I know that, I don't know if it's I think it's in Chicago. There's a certain, I don't know if it's ICE or, again, ICE, DHS, they're kind of becoming the same thing now. But there is one of like the ranking members that has to keep going to court because the judge said that they used unlawful tactics against protesters using tear gas when the judge told them not to use tear gas on the protesters. Then they did it anyway. And so they have been getting pushback from judges, but as you can see, they're still doing whatever they want. I do think it's a good thing that he really has to go to this court every day and relay everything that they've done from what I've seen and read, which is a good thing. But they're still brutalizing protesters. They're still out there doing whatever they want. And now they're indicting protesters because they're scared of pushback, because they know this is not popular. This is not popular with Republicans. It is not popular with anyone. It's popular with a small group of people that just love the cruelty, and that's what they voted for. But the mass majority of people are not okay with ICE just coming and kidnapping people off the streets. They're not. And I don't think that they're okay with people getting indicted for protesting. So let's watch this video of Kat talking about her indictment.
Running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois, the Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center. This is a political prosecution and a gross attempt to silence dissent, a right protected under the First Amendment. This case is a major push by the Trump administration to criminalize protest and punish anyone who speaks out against them. That's why I'm going to fight these unjust charges, but I need your help to do it. As I and others have exercised our First Amendment rights, ICE has hit, dragged, thrown, shot with pepper balls, and tear gassed hundreds of protesters, simply because we had the gall to say that masked men coming into our communities, abducting our neighbors, and terrorizing us cannot be our new normal. And because Chicago doesn't back down from bullies in masks who tear gas our neighborhoods, this administration has resorted to weaponizing the federal justice system to scare us into silence. But we're not going to be silent.
Good. I'm glad. And honestly, this reminds me of the Chicago 7. If you all have been here for a minute, I was like obsessed with it after I watched it. I was obsessed with it because it's just so interesting to watch. Because things fashy things have happened in the history of this country. We like to think of this country as a free country, but really, it never really has been free for everyone at any point in American history. No, everyone has not always been free. And so I do think that they're using similar tactics. They're going to start using similar tactics to back in the 60s, back in the civil rights era and the Vietnam anti-war era, because people were fighting back. They were protesting. They were getting out and mobilizing and organizing very successfully back then. And so I think they're going to use these same tactics of political indictments to try to scare people, away from protesting, because they're like, hey, we consider you protesting an impediment of ICE's duty, and that's a crime now, apparently. And so that's what they're doing, and they're going after not just her but other protesters. And so I really do think that that's what they're trying to do, because I also think that the more we start war with Venezuela, the worse these protests are going to get, and the more people are going to go out and protest, because this is not what people want. People do not want another war. People do not want people being kidnapped off the streets. And so I think that they're going to they are, and now that his numbers are plummeting, his approval numbers are plummeting, I think that they're going to use, and this is what I've been scared of from the very beginning, is they're going to start using these tactics of repressing free speech and trying to indict people, trying to throw people in jail, just doing very illegal things and taking away our rights and a lot of authoritarian fascist things, because they're so unpopular that these big movements cannot happen, that they don't want this to happen, because they need to repress that speech so that way people don't think that they can push back. They want people to be scared, and they don't want people to go out and protest. No matter how much you don't like this, no matter how much you don't want this, they do not want you to go out and protest, and they want you to be scared. And so that's their whole point in this. And that's why I do think that we should all keep protesting and keep talking about it and keep being loud about it, and not get scared, because that's what they want. And being scared and not doing anything. And I mean, it's easy to get scared and get blackpilled, but I do think that we need to keep talking, and we need to keep protesting, and we need to keep making our voices heard, because if we don't, that's just bending the knee to them. That's just bending the knee to them and letting them take away our rights.
The Trump administration wants you to be afraid of speaking out against it and its anti-democratic power grabs.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of reasons to be afraid right now, but we have to overcome that fear. This case targets our rights to protest, speak freely, and associate with anyone who disagrees with the government. And while we have seen the unhinged and unlawful tactics this administration has used against the American public, it's important to remember they're doing this because they are scared. They are wrong. And they know they are on the wrong side of history. We cannot diminish ourselves in the face of these attacks. That's why we have to unite and stand up for humanity, our rights, and everyone terrorized by Trump's lawless secret police. You'll be hearing regular updates directly from me about this case and how we can use our constitutional rights to resist authoritarianism. And as scary as all of this is, I have spent my career fighting America's backslide into fascism. I'm not going to stop now, and I hope you won't either.
I love her. She's amazing, and I think she's great. Kat was a journalist before this, and she has always been loud about her thoughts and her feelings. And she is Palestinian, and I think she was at the protest at the DNC when they wouldn't let a Palestinian speaker up. So she's great, and I love her. And so I definitely want to keep on top of this and see where this goes, because it is scary. And I know Ken Klippenstein has been talking about this a lot, and he's been talking a lot about I don't know I think it's like the NSP7 or NSM7 or something like that. But it's that memorandum that Donald Trump put out when he was saying, if you're anti-family values, if you are too extreme on immigration and gender and race or whatever, if you're anti-Christian, then these are all signs of a terrorist. And they're saying that that's all signs of Antifa, and that you are a terrorist if you're anti-capitalist. And these are all the things that they put out. These are all the things that they decided meant you are a terrorist. And so I do think that something like that is going to come up in a indictment like this, that what they're going to try to do to them is they're going to say, well, they're Antifa, and so that means they're terrorists, and so that means that we can go after them. And that's what that's essentially what they're going to do in this case. And she's right, it is going to set a precedent for what they can do in the future, and how they can, if they can indict more protesters and more activists in the future. So we'll see what happens. It's very scary. and not fun at all. But something that happened. Now, I actually don't know who this person is. So her name is Tara, and she is interviewing Kat. Now, I have no idea who this person is. I don't know if she's a Dem. I don't know if she's a Republican. I don't know if she's centrist. Like, I have no clue. But all I know is that she was interviewing Kat and then asked her about her indictment, and Kat ended the interview and like left the stream. And now it's caused all this drama, and she's like freaking out, like, it's the most shocking interview I've ever had. And, you know, Fox News is like, oh my gosh, can you believe that she left an interview? So let's watch it, because I haven't. And let's see what happens. Again, I have no idea who Tara is. I've never watched her before. I'm not really sure who she is, but let's watch this.
Tara Palmieri Show on YouTube and the Red Letter on Substack. Kat is running for Congress in Illinois' 9th district, and you've probably seen her on her social media accounts. She's blown up. She's a social media star. But most recently, you've had a lot of drama, you could say. I'm sure you're in a state of shock, but how are you feeling ever since you found out that you've been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer and assaulting or impeding an officer while engaged in official duties? And then the charges also mention property damage and obstruction. How are you feeling right now? What's going on through your head?
Yeah, I can tell you that when I started this year, first off, I didn't even think I'd be running for Congress, but I definitely didn't think I'd be federally indicted. I've covered the right for a long time. You talked about my social media accounts. The reason those are big in the first place is because of my reporting covering the right. Yes. And so I'm not surprised at what we're seeing. It's exactly what I and my colleagues have warned Democratic leaders about for years. And part of the reason that we're here in the first place is those warnings not being heeded. But it is surreal to be the person on the indictment, especially because my name is really long.
What do you think about those charges, though? They seem really serious. Conspiracy to impede or injure an ICE officer, assaulting or impeding that officer. Those are pretty big charges.
The charges, I think they're actually like slightly different, but no matter what the charges are in the indictment, I plan on pleading not guilty. And this is a political prosecution, plain and simple. 100%. It's an effort to criminalize free speech, an effort to criminalize free association, and an effort to criminalize the very act of protest. And so we're going to be pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I fully plan on winning.
Yeah, just to be clear, the indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and...
I guess that's the vandalism. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay.
Impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now, but like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning.
Okay. Well, let's watch the video of what happened that day that they're.
I was going to say, I've seen this video before, and Kat is not the only person who has done this. There have been many of people who have been protesting ICE, who have gotten in front of the car, and have gotten in front of a car and tried to impede ICE. I mean, I guess it is impeding ICE, but trying to stop them from continuing kidnapping people. Now, there have been tons of people who have done this. It is not just them. Also, this is like a direct action. This is a type of protest. This is a type, this is like direct action protesting, okay? I would say it's probably like a red level protest. It is a red level protest. But this is just like this. I feel like everyone has been doing this. People have been doing this. This isn't like a new thing. This isn't something crazy. You're saying like, yeah, she can't talk about this. No, she can't talk about this. And I feel like she should know that. She should know that Kat cannot talk about these legal issues in a podcast because that would look bad for her. And Kat is not as dumb as some of these like right-wing pundits or right-wing politicians who say, who admit shit, who are president, who goes on live television or mainstream television and like admits to crimes just willy-nilly, just out in the open. Like, she's not that dumb. She's not going to do that. And so also, like, this shouldn't even be a crime, and this is not vandalism, but whatever. They're just going to trump up all the charges because they want people to be scared. But you're right. She can't talk about this. She can't comment on this. And Tara should know that. She should know that, but she's just trying to go viral, which I guess she got her wish. But yeah, this is what they're indicting her based on, which is this protest. They're not even pushing it. They're just standing in front of it. And they're not even pounding on the hood of the car. They're like, this is dumb. They're not pounding. Oh my God. Okay. This is stupid. Okay. This is so stupid.
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
They're just standing in front of the car.
Up with liberation!
But what do you, when you...
They weren't even doing half the stuff that they accused them of. I did not see any pounding on the hood of the car. I didn't see anyone etch anything into the car. There was no vandalism. They were not pushing back on the car. They were simply standing in front of it. They were simply standing in front of the car, and that was it. This is so ridiculous. This is so stupid.
See that? What do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said,
yeah.
I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about...
She keeps going, okay, I haven't seen this. That's so funny. She keeps going, she didn't realize she...
just the fact that, like, conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years. Is that, like, that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress? Are you concerned about that?
She didn't realize, I guess.
Did she just sign off?
Or is this like, or is she acting? I can't tell.
Did she just leave the chat?
Yes.
I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened.
Yes, she
okay.
did.
Well, she left because I asked her questions about what happened that day.
Well, no, okay. First of all, you're asking leading questions. She can't talk about it. Also, like, you can't... Like, she can't talk about this. She obviously cannot talk about this on a podcast. Like, you should have asked her your question. You should have been like, yeah, so this is what happened. Like, yeah, how do you feel? She answered the question. She said she was going to plead not guilty, and you'll see where it lies. And I feel like you could have stopped it there. And I feel like you could have asked her other questions. You could have even asked her the 6-8 years question, right? But to show the video and to be like, oh, well, see, don't you think that looks bad is ridiculous, especially when the video doesn't look bad at all because they're not doing half the shit that they alleged that they did. Like, of course she's going to sign off. I think it was smart for her to sign off because she can't keep talking about this because then they're going to use that against her in the court of law. It's just so annoying. And I feel like it was supposed to be, I do really feel like it was supposed to be like a hit piece. And again, I don't know anything about Tara. I've never watched her. I don't know what her affiliations are. I don't know what she wants. I don't know. I think she just wants to go viral. She got her moment to go viral, and here she is. She's milking it. Fox News loved it, so here we are. We definitely don't see any etching. Yeah, I didn't see any etching. And she did thank her. Yeah, I feel like she was very polite about it. She was very nice, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get off. But the way she's been framing in this, and like in the beginning of the video, she does like a little intro where she's like, I had the most shocking interview. I don't think it was that shocking. Like, she left because you kept asking her questions that she couldn't answer, and you seemed pretty persistent on that fact, and so she left. Oh my gosh, so insane. And also what I don't like about that whole interview, which makes me think she's more like center right wing, and I know nothing about her, but when I first saw this, I thought she was more of like a center right wing person, because she's not talking about why they're protesting ICE. She's not asking her why she was out there. She's not asking, what the purpose of them being out there is, or why they're protesting them. No. She's just like, oh, are you scared? This is crazy, but did you do it? And she is not talking about, one, like why they're out there, why they're protesting, the conditions that are happening within that detention center. Like, I've seen her do other interviews with people, Kat, and she talks about why they're protesting. She talks about, hey, in that detention center, there are people who go in with the same, they go in with the clothes on, and then they leave with the same clothes on, and they don't get to change, and they don't get any, the hygiene there is horrible. They're not getting adequate food. They're not getting adequate treatment. Again, they're not getting adequate resources for hygiene or being able to keep up with hygiene. Like, there are so many problems with what is going on right now, and she is trying to talk, and she is protesting that, and she is calling it out, and she is going against this she's going against this Gestapo. She's going against people being kidnapped to put in these detention camps where they're being treated horribly, and they're being put in these horrible conditions, okay? She's going against that instead of talking about that, instead of asking her why she's doing this, why she was put in this situation, why this is a political indictment. She's like, oh, but you did it, right? Here's the video. Aren't you scared? It's just stupid. It's stupid. And you're not talking about why they're protesting. Also, second, she wasn't talking about how important this is for free speech. And that's what she mentioned. Kat actually even mentioned that when she answered one of the questions. She was like, yeah, this is important. They're trying to clamp down on our free speech, and that's what this is for. And she didn't even touch it. She didn't even touch that it was political. She didn't even touch that this is not because she did anything illegal, and this is simply because they want to clamp down on free speech, because they are threatened by people. They are threatened by the masses not being okay with this. They are threatened by the masses not wanting people kidnapped off the streets. That's what they're threatened by. So she doesn't even mention any of that. So I don't blame Kat for leaving. Good for her, honestly. That's how I feel. Tara Palmieri is the National Enquirer in human form. She's the parody of the sensationalist journalist you see in movies. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, because she was giving no context. She was not even you could tell that she just wanted this because she wanted it to go viral, because she wanted the scoop or whatever, and she did not care about what was actually going on or what was happening. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Trump's 60 Minutes interview was shocking. Not that. Oh yeah, no, that wasn't shocking at all. Yeah, I might do clips from that on Wednesday. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. But I know it's a little insane. All right, so now let's get into some things that ICE was getting in over the weekend. So unlike Tara, who doesn't seemingly want to talk about why people are protesting ICE, or what ICE is doing, or the illegal actions that ICE is taking, and why we should be protesting them, instead of talking about that, she just wants to get her little viral moment. But anyway, How about we talk about the crazy things that are going on with ICE right now? So over the weekend, it was Halloween, and ICE decided to go into a neighborhood in Chicago where there was a parade and there were children, and they decided to tear gas that neighborhood. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're scared of the little kids dressed up as cops. Maybe they're scared. I don't know. Okay, sorry, I'm just mad. I'm mad because this is so insane and so ridiculous. And Halloween is my favorite holiday. And these poor kids were like tear gassed. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, let's watch this. It's crazy.
Tear gas in Old Irving Park right now. Our own neighborhood, scaring our children.
Chaos rocks a quiet Northwest Side neighborhood.
Started hearing some whistles, and when I looked out, I saw two fully uniformed Customs and Border Patrol agents tackling a guy to the ground, literally in my front yard right here.
That man had been working construction on a nearby home when federal agents chased him down and took him into custody in the 3700 block of North Kildare. His brother saying he's an undocumented immigrant who came to the U.S. with his family at 4 years of age.
So he's been here since he was 4. Not a criminal. Been here since he was 4. And this is what they're doing. They're terrorizing an entire neighborhood. They're terrorizing an entire neighborhood of children on Halloween. Because they're trying to get one guy who has been here since he was 4. Ridiculous. Doing his job.
The out of here, man.
Within moments, angry neighbors poured out of their homes, joining protesters blowing whistles who'd been on patrol looking for federal agents.
I don't understand how you could think this way, man. Scaring the children.
As angry residents shouted, the federal agents began lobbing tear gas around 9:50 Saturday morning.
You had folks who were literally out on the street taking their kids to this Halloween parade when this happened. And I didn't see anybody with a weapon. I didn't see anybody make physical contact with these agents. I didn't see anybody do anything that justified, for example, taking my 7-year-old neighbor to the ground.
Culp says his 70-year-old neighbor was also taken into custody.
Oh my God.
Catch the latest on this story at Fox 32.
But see, this is what I'm saying. No one, she was willing to ask her in this interview. Tara with Kat was willing to ask her about oh, it's crazy. You were in front of that ICE car. Kind of looks like you were impeding them. It's do you know what? Are you going to put into context what ICE is doing? Are you going to talk about what ICE is doing? There was literally a parade. There were old people. There were little kids. And ICE is here, we're going to tear gas this neighborhood. We're going to tear gas this neighborhood right before the Halloween parade when you got elderly people and little kids walking around. We're going to tear gas this neighborhood and terrorize everyone. Despicable behavior. I hope there are Nuremberg trials for these ICE agents. I hope one day that all of them have to pay consequences for this. If there's one thing I want in this world, that is it. Oh my God, that's what I want. Because they're horrible human beings. This is horrible. Hello, you said you're new here. What's going on here if it's cool to ask? Yeah. So we're just talking about ICE terrorizing our streets. And recently over the weekend, ICE was terrorizing Chicago, as they have been. And, Governor Pritzker was trying to get them to halt their operations on Halloween. Obviously, they decided not to do that. Obviously, they decided to do the exact opposite because they're horrible people and they don't care. What about the children? They don't care about kids. They don't care about elderly people. They don't care about anyone because they are tear gassing people. They are throwing elderly people to the ground. They are ruining children's holidays and they are terrorizing these children who just wanted to do a Halloween parade, all to get one guy who has been here since he was 4. Thank you. It's just like, it's horrific and it's horrible, and I hate them so much. And I really hope one day they get the karma and they get the repercussions they deserve, because it's despicable what ICE is doing. Another thing that ICE did over the weekend, because again, the cruelty is the point, and I don't even think it's just like cruelty. It's just like they feel like they can do whatever they want because they can, and because Stephen Miller said that they have qualified immunity. So now ICE, they're just out here and they're being like, yeah, I can do whatever I want, F everyone else. So apparently ICE agents, instead of wearing their regular masks like pathetic people who know what they're doing is wrong, and so they have to wear masks so that they don't show their identity, because they know they're pieces of shit and they know what they're doing is wrong, but they decide to do it anyway, because either they're racist or whatever money they're getting seems to be enough for them to be a piece of shit, and to be a fascist. But over the weekend, instead of just wearing their regular masks, they wore Halloween masks. And when what's her face, Kristi Noem, was asked about this, she said, oh, it's Halloween, or happy Halloween. They keep going after people. They're saying, oh, if people get scared of ICE, or if people run from ICE or DHS, apparently that's suspicious now. No, people are scared of you because you're just going after everyone, man. People are scared of you because you're just randomly tackling people. You're randomly tear gassing people. You're randomly ramming into other people's cars and then blaming it on the person you rammed into. Do you know how many times they've done that? They've done that like at least twice now. So people are already scared of them. Now on Halloween, they were wearing Halloween masks. So were they so did they go after the people who were scared of them then? Were they, why'd you run? I don't know, man, you're in a Halloween mask following me. Oh my God, this is just so crazy. Okay, this is what they did though. This is what they did, because we live in hell. We live in hell.
Okay, can you get the thing?
Did you see that? He was wearing a mask. Yeah, see, do you see this? They're wearing like also, is he driving? He should not be driving with that mask on. Jesus Christ. But they're wearing like Halloween masks. This is what they're doing. So what I'm saying. Like, I get it. It's like, haha, funny kind of. But also it's not. Like, to me, it's not. To me, it just shows their sheer bloodlust. Like, their sheer need to want to feel powerful over people, to want to scare people, to want to terrorize people. That's what they want. They want to terrorize people. They want to scare people, because when they do that, they feel like they're better than. There's something inside of them that is missing. There is something inside of them that they're so insecure that they feel like they need to overpower and terrorize people to feel better about themselves. And so I feel like this is just an extension of that. This is oh, you want to think we're scary, you want to think we're the villains? Okay, let's put on these masks. We are the villains, and we're gonna come get you, and look at us. We just do whatever we want. We don't care. And that's what I feel like this is. And it's like, to me, like, and I love scary movies. I love Halloween. It's like my favorite thing in the world, right? But this, I feel like, is just blatant, like, it's just blatantly showing that they want the cruelty. That's their purpose, and this is what they want, and that's why they're doing this job. And that's what I think.
Oh, they're really having.
Oh God, I can't. It's psychotic. So psychotic. It's insane. Crazy. American politicians are definitely interesting in a strange way. Yeah. Oh, F ICE. Yes. No human is legal. Exactly. No, like, I feel like that just brings a whole new level to like, yes, like F ICE, because why are you wearing those masks? Why are you doing this? And then I swear to God, if there's a video that comes out of them going after someone and they're like, why are you running from me? And they have a Halloween mask on, I'm gonna lose my shit, because this is not okay. This is insane. This is insane. And it's still insane to me that there's that video of them like pushing someone to the ground. They said, well, why'd you run from me? Because you guys are all out here militarizing our streets with all these guns and tear gas, putting guns in people's faces, doing all this shit. Of course people are gonna run from you. Of course they're gonna run from you. What do you mean? They're like, we're not scary. You are, and you're all pieces of shit. All right, let's get to something more fun, because this is just so... I just hate this. Like we have to talk about ICE, and I try to talk about ICE in every live that I do, because I think it's important, and I want to talk about it, and I want to keep talking about the atrocities that they're doing, because it's important to monitor and it's important to know. But it really does depress me because it's so fucked up. But let's get into something more fun, because I would like that better than this. All right, so okay, so let's talk about AOC versus Riley Gaines. Again, last week I was out of town, so I didn't really keep up with much, but this is something I did see and found really fun. So Zohran, Bernie, and AOC recently did a rally in New York, and it was gigantic. It was insane. There were so many people, and it was insane. Like I don't think any other, like I don't think Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer or Pete Buttigieg or whoever could have gotten that many people out there. Like they just couldn't. Like Donald Trump certainly can't get that many people to fill that stadium. He certainly can't get that many people, but they can, and it was really cool. I watched some of the footage. Zohran's speech, I think we reacted to it. No, that was a different one. Never mind. I don't know. He's been having so many rallies recently. It's been a lot. But anyway, this was great. It was historical. There were so many people. Hassan was there. Stavi was there. Ariana was there. Who else? Everyone was there. Literally everyone was there. Like Emma was there talking to Zohran. Oh my gosh. I love Emma so much. Anyway, everyone was there. And so Riley Gaines decided to put, "We're being destroyed from within." I hate Riley Gaines. She's such a horrible person. This is another person that is just a deeply insecure person that feels the need to go after everyone else to feel better about themselves. So if you don't know who Riley Gaines is, which I think most people do, but if you don't, she is the person who was going against Leah Thomas, and they tied for 5th place. Now, I want to make this very clear, because I feel like this has been like propaganda or whatever that the right has done, and it's gotten my family. It has. And I have this argument with them at least like once or twice a year. For some reason, people think that Riley Gaines was going to get like the gold medal or something, and that she was going to be first, and that Leah Thomas took that spot. No, they tied for 5th place. They tied for 5th place. And the reason Riley Gaines was so mad was because she got like a trophy that said like 6th place, because they didn't have 2 5th place trophies. And so she had to wait for her trophy to come in the mail. That's why she's mad, because she tied for 5th place. So her whole career now is like a Fox News pundit or whatever the hell she is now. Her whole career is based off of her getting upset that she tied for 5th place. That's what this is about. And I want to remind everyone that, because it is pathetic. She's pathetic. She's a pathetic human being, okay? To go after trans people as a whole because you weren't good enough, because you could not be in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd spot. She wasn't even close. She wasn't even close. Like, it's not like if she didn't tie with Leah Thomas, she was somehow gonna place higher. No. She's so pathetic. But apparently everyone in the right-wing sphere thinks that she would have gotten like third or second or whatever. No, she tied for fifth. So they've been lying to people. Of course they have. But anyway, all that to say, this is what she said about AOC and Bernie and Zohran. She said, we're being destroyed from within. So then AOC clapped back and said, maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth. And that made me really happy because it's true. All this talk of like right-wingers of like, and this is something I grew up in because of course my family was conservative, and so this is something that I get told a lot, like, just suck it up, just like suck it up, life's not fair, suck it up, deal with it, and kind of just like shut off your emotions and just like whatever, figure it out, and so I've always got taught that a lot. That's why I have like emotional issues, but anyway, and so just like emotionally stunted. But no, I'm just kidding. Not really. I don't know. Anyway, so sometimes I say too much. But anyway, so that's kind of what conservatives always preach, right? But Riley Gaines has been over here crying about tying for fifth place for years now. Her whole career is based off of crying because she tied for fifth place. Like, again, who is the snowflake in this situation? Who is the snowflakes again? Who are the snowflakes again? Who are the people who just are just whatever, like who are hysterical again? Because to me, it sounds like Riley Gaines is that person, okay? Because she can't get over the fact that she tied for fifth place. Like, it's so pathetic. Okay, and so this is... Here's a clip of her talking about this. Okay, wait. This is so funny.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend removing God. I will defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of the radical, insane democratic policies and platform that they stand for, I will debate the opposite. I'm challenging AOC to it here.
I thought you were going to challenge her to like a freestyle, 100 freestyle or something. I'm like, that's not
that too.
That's an unfair fight. Or
a fair fight.
I don't know if it'd be unfair. I still think she wouldn't win.
To her is putting a man in the pool.
Yeah, you can wear like 100-pound weight and challenge her to it. That would be fair, actually. Mark and
okay, anyway, so basically she went on there. This is another thing that I see with conservatives. They always want to challenge people to a debate, and if you don't debate that person, they see that as like a win. Because my mom used to always say that to me when it came to like AOC. She'd be like, well, AOC won't debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. AOC won't debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm like, good. She shouldn't. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a nutcase, okay? I get it. She's had some good takes recently, but she's a nutcase. I don't care what she says. I don't care what she does. She's a nutcase, all right? She is, all right? She is. She's still a nutcase. Even if she says some right things here and there, she is a nutcase. And, so I remember being like, well, yeah, because she, like, if AOC were to have a debate with her, she'd be legitimizing, like, QAnon conspiracy theories, which is not something I think she should do. So, yeah, no, I don't think she should have a debate with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so it's funny that they think, like, oh, well, we just got to debate it out and see who wins. It's so dumb. It's just such a silly... It's such a silly mindset because that's all they think this is. Like, they don't, this is not about actually improving people's lives. This is not about caring about people or the policies that you want to enact. It's literally just, I just want to talk to you about my ideas and I want to win and I want to be the person that wins. And I just want to get fame from this. I want to get a viral clip from this. That's all it is. It's not actually caring about anything. And so she asked her for a debate, or challenged her for a debate, and AOC, I would like to challenge this person to get a real job. I just love this. This gave me so much, gave me so much joy. There's so much messed up stuff happening in the world, but man, did this make me happy, because Riley Gaines is just such a horrible and psychotic human, and I hate her so much. And she has been going after trans people, and she has been going after everyone, and she is just a horrible person. And so it's nice to see her not get taken seriously, and it's nice to see someone clap back at her. But another thing that I wanted to say about Riley Gaines before we move on to the last topic is she's so funny, because she is like rah Trump, rah conservatism, whatever. And I don't know if she actually believes any of this shit. A lot of it, I think, is just because she wants to she was cynically using tying at fifth place. She was cynically using tying at fifth place, and she was using that to generate a career. She was using the bigotry and the hate that people have against trans people to turn that into a career, so she can sit here and be a pundit on Fox News, which is why she's a horrible person. But of course, she then, has talked about immigration and all these other things. Well, her husband is an immigrant. And when all of this started happening, when all of this started happening with Trump and immigration, her husband, I think, got deported and was in the crosshairs. Now, her husband is white. But so she thought, because he was a white immigrant, that he was just going to be fine and everything was going to be fine. And so I remember when Donald Trump first got elected and they first started deporting everyone, she was like, "Oh, not my husband, Donald Trump. You can't deport my husband, or you can't change the rules because my husband needs to stay here." And I remember just laughing my ass off when I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, karma's a bitch, man. Karma's a bitch. You know what? This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You go after immigrants, you go after trans people, you go after people all day, every day of your life. You've made a career off of being a racist piece of shit, right? Like, that's what you've made your career off of. And now you're feeling some of those repercussions of what you wanted, of what you've been asking for. And it was gold. It was truly gold. And I just had to point that out again, because it was great. Riley Gaines has no job. She doesn't have a job. Okay. All right. So that was Riley Gaines. that was Riley Gaines versus AOC, and I gotta say, it was pretty funny. Debates are only about rhetoric. The right live with alternative facts. That's true. And that's why, I think debates are kind of silly, really, truthfully, because, I've tried to talk to people in my family who are very conservative about issues, and you're right, they have alternative facts. And so talking with them is sometimes difficult, because it doesn't matter what the truth is. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It doesn't matter what statistics say. None of that matters, because they don't think that's real. And so you're not even debating on any basis of reality. You're just debating, you're debating facts against made up shit. and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, is everyone like that? No, I have people in my family that are being like, well, I don't really like this and I don't really like that, and are willing to admit that some of this is not good, and that the whole Trump 2028 thing is not a good thing and not something that they like. So I'm like, okay, at least you see that for what it is, but then there are some people in my family who would excuse it and be like, oh, he doesn't really mean it, or oh, it doesn't really matter, he's not gonna do it. And so it's like, when there's not a shared reality, how do you debate something? Because we can't even agree on the facts. We can't even agree on the reality around us. So how are we supposed to have a debate? It just doesn't, I just think it's silly, and I just don't think it works. Like Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I know. Well, they tend to do that. They tend to make all of these really horrible people into celebrities, because I don't know. They just tend to do it. And she's one of them. Yeah. You said, oh, what is your background? Like, how did you get into politics? Oh, I, my background, I don't know. I guess just lots of things. Lots of different things. I got into politics, mainly, well, I've always kind of been into politics my whole life. My family's always been very political, but they're conservative. And I've always been very socially liberal, but at a point in time when I was younger, I was like socially liberal but fiscally conservative or whatever, and I don't even think I knew what that meant. But it was because I had very conservative family members, but I live in St. Louis, and so I went to a high school in the city, and so it was a very diverse place, and so like a lot of the like racism and like propaganda around immigrants and like racism and stuff like that had never worked on me, because I've always, or like being against trans people or gay people or whatever, like that never worked on me because I just grew up with a very diverse group of people, and so I never really believed any of that stuff. And then I went to college, and I got out, and capitalism really, I think, is what radicalized me. Realizing that a lot of the issues are capitalist, that are rooted in capitalism, and I don't know, a lot of things. But yeah, I think that radicalized me. I did like a bit of a left-wing rabbit hole on YouTube. I went from watching like Jarvis Johnson to TYT to then Hassan, and I watched the Majority Report. I watch a lot of people, but anyway, that's kind of how I got into politics. I've always been very into politics, but when Roe got overturned, I feel like, again, I'm a white lady, and so Roe was like my thing where it got overturned, and I was like, oh shit, and I started doing activism and just started being more in the community and learning more about history and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know, it's been a long trajectory. I have a whole video on it in my membership of how I became a leftist, but yeah, that's the short piece of it, I guess. I don't know. And I it's been a long time coming, but yeah, anyway, although I will say one piece of lore, and then we'll go to the last story that we're going to talk about. But when I went to school for music production, producing music and stuff, and one of my classes, it was like a business class. It was like a music business class. And I remember this so distinctly. And we had to get up and we had to like present this thing. And I remember being like, I want to do this like business where I help artists grow and do whatever, or I help artists with this. Or I don't think it was a business, but it was just something where I was like, I want to help artists with this. And then they asked me, well, how much are you going to charge? And I was like, well, I'm not going to charge. It'll be free. Everyone laughed at me. And it was kind of embarrassing, but that I feel like that was like, I should have known that I was like a leftist or not a socialist, but yeah, like a socialist back then. Anyway, that's too much lore. Okay. But yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. Everyone laughed at me in front of the class because I was like, well, no, I would do it for free because I would want to make sure that, they can have the resources that they need. Oh God, in a music business class. Anyway, I think about that sometimes. When you think about like old memories and you get like secondhand embarrassment, that's one of those for me. At cost was the better answer. Yeah, I was young and I listened. I was young and it was like, I still get secondhand embarrassment from that. But yeah, no, that's a piece of lore anyway. It's a piece of lore of mine that I think is kind of funny. And it's funny where I'm at now, because I think I've always thought these things. I just didn't know how to articulate them until I got older. And when you grow up in a conservative family, sometimes it is very hard to like, sometimes it is hard to like combat it. I've always been very combative with authority figures in my life. But sometimes it is hard to like go against the grain when you're the only one in the family that does, you know? So yeah, anyway, let's talk about our last topic here. And, it is about Donald Trump having a Great Gatsby party while everyone else is struggling, because he literally, I don't know. This is literally like, this is quite frankly such an eat the rich moment, and it's just so obvious. Let's see. You said, we make the worst capitalists. Honestly, it's so true. Yes, exploitation is not in our nature. Honestly, and so like, it's so funny because I just should have known then. I should have, I don't know. It's just so funny because I felt so bad. I was like, well, I don't want to charge them because I just want them to do their best. And everyone laughed at me. Oh God, it's something, it's, everyone just like laughed at me in front of the class. It was a great time. It was a wonderful time. Anyway, oh God, you know, some days I'm really happy I'm not in school anymore. So you don't have to go through stuff like that, you know? Anyway, Donald Trump has no sense of irony or, I don't know, just like self-preservation at all. Because he thinks things like this are cool, which I don't think they are. But, you know, he thinks showing all of his lavishness in life is just like cool and shows that he's strong and shows that he's worth praising and everyone needs to look up to him. And so, while SNAP benefits are getting cut, while the government is getting shut down, while it was the first weekend that government workers did not get their paychecks, he decides to have a lavish, Gatsby-inspired Halloween party. Wild. And I actually, so I was in, like I've been saying, I was out of town last week. I was in Universal Orlando, and I got caught up in the there was like this huge national news story, and I didn't realize it was a national news story, but they had to like cancel almost every flight out of Orlando the night I was leaving because there were so many people who called off, which I don't blame them. I don't blame the workers whatsoever. I don't blame them for calling off. I don't blame them for not coming in because they're not getting paid. So I do not blame them at all. But luckily, my flight was not canceled. It was just delayed like a lot. I was supposed to get home at like 10. I didn't get home till like 2 a.m. But luckily mine was not canceled. Tons of people's flights were canceled. But so while all of this is going on, this is what Donald Trump is doing. This is what Donald Trump is doing right now, because he just, I don't know. I don't know how you can't see how this looks so horrible for you. It's truly wild to me that he can't see what's like, he has no sense of self-preservation, but he thinks this makes him look good. I don't know. But anyway, here's this video about it real quick, and I need to plug in my laptop. I thought I did, but I did not.
Listen, whatever my friends say.
So this is what it looks like. Cruelty is the point. Cruelty is the point.
Listen, whatever my friends say.
Alright. So this is the Great Gatsby party that he had. I wish so. Okay, this is like a live stream of it, I think, because it's 11 hours. So I think this is like a live stream of the party. And I know that they had like the whole drama about it all is not just that everyone is struggling and not getting paid and losing their benefits, not just that, but that there were and he's having this lavish party, not just that there were like dancers or there were like women in like these big martini glasses. And so I'm trying to find them. Let's see. Okay, and they were like all next to the, oh my God, look how people are dressed up. She's got like diamonds on her head. Oh my God, this is actually like, oh my God. You know, it's not just the ballroom. Like, it's not just the ballroom that he's doing. It's also this crazy ass party. And that's why he wants the ballroom, so he can do these crazy ass parties as a show of his wealth, as a show of how great he thinks he is, because he's just so wealthy and powerful. Annoying. Okay, anyway. Oh, there's Tiffany. Where's Tiffany? Marco Rubio is there. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find the women, but I can't find them. Okay. Oh, there's Tiffany. I'm surprised Tiffany was invited, honestly. I feel like oh, and she's even sitting at the same table as him. Wow, she's stepping up in the world. Tiffany is stepping up in the world. Who knew? Who knew that he actually is acknowledging her existence? Oh my God, I don't know why I can't find them. They were like dancers. I don't know why I can't find it. How is this 11 hours and I can't find any footage with the dancers? That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. Okay, let's see if Democracy Now! Has a better...
On Friday, President Trump held a lavish Great Gatsby Halloween party at Mar-a-Lago just hours before the estimated 42 million people lost SNAP benefits. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy wrote on social media, "The way he rubs his inhumanity in Americans' face never ceases to stun me. He's illegally refusing to pay food stamp benefits while he throws a ridiculously over-the-top Gatsby party for his right-wing millionaire and corporate friends," unquote. In a piece for the Financial Times headlined "How Gatsby Foretold Trump's America," the University of London literature professor Sarah Churchwell writes, quote, "The novel's prescience lies not in foretelling specific events, but in diagnosing a culture where power enjoys impunity and cruelty rubs out its traces. A society run by careless people, the unheeding brutality of so-called world builders has returned most recently in the dark fantasies of Trumpism and in Silicon Valley's fatuous motto, 'Move fast and break things,'" she wrote. For more, we go to Montgomery, Alabama, where we're joined by Kirk Kernet, professor and chair of the English department at Troy University. Montgomery is where Zelda Fitzgerald was born. The professor teaches F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, served on the board of the Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald Museum in Montgomery, now executive director of the International F. Scott Fitzgerald Society. We thank you so much for being with us. Professor Kirk Kernet, as you saw this party play out in Mar-a-Lago, as millions could literally move into hunger in America, your thoughts? What did The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald, teach us about the times then, and perhaps a warning about the times today?
Well, I think it's fair to say that those of us who have spent our careers studying F. Scott Fitzgerald were horrified and sort of felt like, Mr. President, you've ruined so much already. Why must you sully The Great Gatsby?
I love that, like, I'm sorry, this is not funny, but I love how he's like, why did you have to ruin this book for me? He's like, I spent my life on this, and in one day you have ruined it for me. I don't blame him. I would be mad too. If I was a scholar of The Great Gatsby, Donald Trump used it as and like this is what Donald Trump is using as his like party, as his like thing, I'd be pissed too, man. I'd be like, dude, come on, isn't there one thing that you just don't ruin? Can you just keep one thing sacred, or are you just gonna ruin everything? And he's just gonna ruin everything. But all right, just get a little laugh in where we can.
It's really horrific optics, and it really perpetuates, I think, a misreading of The Great Gatsby that troubles many of us. Gatsby is sort of famous for its lavish party scenes, but I think what people often miss is that the entire thrust of the book is to critique that conspicuous consumption and the wastage that goes on in these sorts of events where all of our values are becoming more and more tenuous.
Who in The Great Gatsby do you see personifying President Trump, and why?
Well, it's very interesting because for the past 50 years, there's been a tendency to equate presidents with Jay Gatsby. It started with Richard Nixon, believe it or not, in part because the 1974 movie was going on during Watergate. And it usually refers to people who come outside, the outsider, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. But with Donald Trump, I think we really do have the first instance of a president who is the villain of the novel, Tom Buchanan.
And if you could talk about the fact that April was the centennial of the publication of The Great Gatsby, what do you see as the enduring message about a society run by careless people? And as you looked at Mar-a-Lago, the millionaires and billionaires around President Trump, your final thoughts?
Well, my eyes kind of went to the servers and the people that are working this sort of extravagant party. And they're in the background of Gatsby, too. I see a huge difference because the people that attended Gatsby's parties were not necessarily rich people. They tended to be people that were interested or sort of drawn to the exuberance of life. And in many ways, they're not unlike Gatsby. So it was a sort of a taste of a life that they probably weren't ever going to get in the real workaday world. When I look at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, it just seems it seems something right out of the Satyricon, which is a story that Fitzgerald drew from as he was creating the novel. So it really, there's no irony or no self-critique there as this spectacle is going on, and it just demonstrates again that a lot of our great literature can be used for spurious purposes.
Kurt Carnott, I want to thank you for being with us, Chair of the English Department at Troy University, Executive Director of the International F. Scott Fitzgerald Society, joining us from Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of Zelda Fitzgerald, the wife of the author F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah, so I was trying to find a video of the girls dancing, but I couldn't. But apparently they were just like these girls dancing around the table, and then there was like, I think I saw a picture of one in like a martini glass. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting coming from like the party of family values. Like, I don't care if, you have people dancing around, whatever, but like, I do think that they always want to, they use that attack against queer people, and then they have women dancing around them like objects, because that's how Trump sees them. That's how a lot of these people see them, as just like objects that for their entertainment, and they still want to call themselves like the family of the party of family values. It's so ridiculous, honestly. But that's what's going on, and it is disgusting. Take names of all those mofos, cufflinks and handcuffs. Honestly, it is so disgusting, and it's really disgusting because, like I said, it has been sheer chaos for everyone. The longer this government is shut down, the more chaos that's happening, and that is going to come. And people are really going to start feeling this. People have already started feeling this. And to not only get billions of dollars as honestly what I think is like a quid pro quo, which is like a bribe from these millionaires and billionaires to make your little fancy ballroom. And then right after that, having this party, literally, I think he had it on Halloween. So literally the night before people didn't get their first paycheck on November 1st, the night before, you are going to have all of these people, thousands of people who are not going to get their paychecks, who are not going, like most people do not have enough money if they don't get their paycheck. Listen, I'm in the same boat. Like, most people do not have like a savings. They don't have enough money to sit here and pay rent next month if they do not get paid, right? And so him sitting here and having this lavish ass party with all these other millionaires and billionaires just to simply show how much they have and how much they don't care or don't give a shit about the rest of us. It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting. And, I do think though that this kind of stuff will wake a lot of people up, hopefully, and will radicalize a lot of people, hopefully, because, of course, there are going to be people who are going to defend it. And because unfortunately in America, we seem to think that the richer you are, the more you should be respected, or the smarter you are, or, you're just more worthy if you're rich, which is just not true. None of that is true, but we've been taught that in America. So unfortunately, there probably will be people who think it's really cool and, well, he's just a badass. But I do think of the people that are not going to get paid and of the people who are getting their benefits cut and are struggling, I do think they're going to look at this and be like, wow, F you. Like, people are struggling, the government is shut down, and you want to have a great Gatsby party? Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, it's disgusting. It's terrible. And Donald Trump obviously does not care about optics and does not give a shit about anyone. I thought he at least cared a little bit about optics, but I don't think he does at this point. I think he's just full on doing whatever the hell he wants, and he does not care. He's cursing out reporters left and right. He's telling them they don't know he's telling female, like women reporters specifically, that they don't know anything, and they're fake news and all this kind of shit. So he's just doing whatever he wants. He doesn't care, and this is a part of it, because he doesn't think he's going to ever suffer any repercussions, and he doesn't think he's ever going to be held accountable, and he doesn't think he's leaving. Also, I'll put that in there. He does not think he's leaving this office. So that's why he's doing all this. I think it's the optics of wealth. He wants his base to live vicariously through him without the money. Yeah, I think you're right. I do think you're right. I think you're right that like I said, there are certain people that are going to support him no matter what. And there are certain people who are going to look at this and actually think it's cool and like badass and think that, well, he has the money and that's why he's so smart and he's so great. And like, I know people, like I have people in my family like that who look at that and go, well, that just shows that he's just like really cool because he has all this money. And I will never understand that. I will never understand looking at something like that and being like, wow, but like, isn't he so cool? Or isn't it so badass because he has so much money? No, it's ridiculous is what it is. It's disgusting is what it is. It's just a show of wealth to be like, I'm better than you. That's all that was. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's so fucked up. But yeah, no, there are going to be people who agree with it and don't care. And actually like it. There are going to be people who literally are getting their benefits cut who are going to like it anyway because they're just like, well, maybe I should just work harder. It's like, no. And he hates everyone else. So in his mind, it's a win-win. Yeah, no, he does. He hates his own supporters. And I wish that they would wake up to that fact. Because he hates his own supporters. He hates everyone. I'm convinced he only loves himself. And I've had this argument with people in my family before. They really think he like loves his family and he's like a family man and he's like a really good dad. And I think that is funny as hell. Anytime I have a conversation or like or talk about this with a family member and they're like, no, but like he cares about his kids or like he cares about his family, I laugh and I'm like, wow, that's funny. That's hilarious that you think he cares about people. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. He is not a good dad. He does not give a shit about those kids, okay? He could not give a shit about those kids, all right? This man, he would throw them under the bus in a minute. I'm telling you, he would throw his kids under the bus, or he would sacrifice his kids to keep himself alive or to keep himself afloat before he would ever hurt himself, like willingly. Like there is no world where that man loves his kids over himself. There's just no world. There is no world. No, he does not. He doesn't. He does not. I'm telling you, he does not care about his kids. He cares more about himself. All he cares about is himself. He is a narcissist. He does not care about anybody else. And, I don't think he does. I don't think he cares. He only cares about people for what they can do for him, or how loyal they are to him. Outside of that, he doesn't actually care about them. He's not actually a good person. But as Tiffany and Eric, honestly, I always bring that up too. Tiffany's the one I always bring up. That's why I'm surprised she was there, and I'm surprised she was sitting at the same table as him. Tiffany is the one I always bring up when I have this conversation, because I'm always like, dude, he barely even acknowledges Tiffany's existence, okay? Like, this man barely even acknowledges she exists, and you want to tell me he's a good dad? You want to tell me he's a family man? Okay, please, give me a break. Give me a break. Family values aware. What? Oh my God. Like, it is kind of funny that Donald Trump is the one sitting up there telling everyone the Republicans or the conservatives are the ones of family values. Come on, man. Like, come on. You have all these different kids from all these different women. You, like, shut up. If this was anyone else, conservatives would be freaking out. Yeah. Crazy. All right. Well, that is the stream for today. I have to go to the grocery store real quick before it closes. That's why I gotta go. Sorry, that's a horrible reason, but it's true. I've been very busy all day. And I did the call bank for Zohran. Speaking of, you guys should call bank for Zohran and do what you can. I don't know, share a post, talk to people if you know they live in New York. Tomorrow is the election for Zohran in New York City, and I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm scared. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully they'll call it tomorrow, and I may do like an impromptu stream depending on what happens, but it would just be like really quick on my phone, like I did when he won the primary. But I will be live again on Wednesday. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming until further notice. I am back, and a week off really did help me feel more sane, honestly. Just a week with friends was really nice. Basically, this reminds me of the episode of the Batman Beyond when Ra's al Ghul I'm sorry, I have no idea what I just said, stole his daughter's body to stay alive. See, I do think Donald Trump would do something like that, though. Don't you think he would do that? If Donald Trump was ever in a situation where he had to pick between like his life and his kid's life, I think he would pick his life. That's what I'm saying. I really do think he would pick himself every single time, personally. Yes, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. I love you all very much. And yes, I will be live again on Wednesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Again, back to our regularly scheduled programming. And yes, yeah, thank you. Yes, I need to get some things at the grocery store. Thank you. And everything closes so early. But all right, so thank you all. Let me say thank you to my members before we get out of here. Thank you, Troy Roberto. Thank you, Crystal Safira. Thank you, Creflo. I saw Creflo earlier. Thanks for joining. I just posted a new membership video on Boots, and the government's literally the government reacting to this show on Netflix, and calling it woke too woke. It's a very great show. I kind of went over it and what they said. So if you want to check that out, become a member. But thank you to all my members, and thank you to you all for being here. I will see you Wednesday, maybe tomorrow night, depending on the results. Let's all hope and have good thoughts. Anyway, love you all, and I will see you on Wednesday. All right.